Hey guys, welcome to Operation Harbinger. Hopefully I pronounced that right. This is one of the new co-op missions released in the recent Modern Warfare update. If you guys haven't tried it yet, go play through it on your own first, because I don't want to ruin the experience for you. But if you guys are here for the tips and strats to complete this operation easily, let's get started. Before we jump into combat, as always, you should squad up with your friends so you can decide ahead of time who's playing what role. I'm going with stopping power because I want my team and I to deal extra damage. And if you guys are matchmaking with randoms, chances are there's already a medic, and for this mission, having more than 2 medics is not necessary. Moving on to munitions, this is probably one of the most important parts of the video. I went with cruise missile, precision airstrike, and a sentry gun. The cruise missile is a must-have, and I'll explain why later on. You can choose all 3 to be cruise missiles if you want. The sentry gun and airstrike is to just make life easier, which you'll see later on in this video. Moving on to loadout, my weapon of choice is the EBR-14 to help me deal with medium and long range targets. Of course you could choose whatever you'd prefer since I personally didn't shoot too much in this mission. I have the Deagle 50GS as my secondary because it's most effective against chugs, and you're going to be running around indoors a lot throughout the first half of the mission, so this thing can come in really handy. Now let's talk about perk 1. For those of you who have already played, you know that there are a ton of tripwires or trip mines, whatever you want to call them, and if they blow you up, you will not survive even with EOD. I've tried it so you don't have to. This means EOD is pointless unless every RPG is targeting you. So definitely throw on a quick fix to help you heal faster. Unless you really want to use overkill or scavenger, it's up to you. Perk 2, we got kill chain along with tune up for perk 3. If you've seen my other video, I explained that having these 2 perks will synergize your field upgrade to its max potential. Meaning that in my case, I will constantly have stopping power rounds if I'm killing a lot of enemies. For lethal, I have the throwing knife equipped to save me when I need to reload. I have snapshot grenade for tactical, so I can see if it's safe to make a run. Of course, choose whatever you prefer. And now let's jump in combat. So you start off the mission by taking out a couple enemies on the right. I have a suppressor in this clip, but you don't have to do it quietly. Once you've cleared the house, you need to find 3 pieces of intel, and you do this by taking a picture of 3 different piles of cash. Once you do this, a timer will start counting down and enemies will start swarming you along with tanks being deployed on your position. Be aware these houses across the street are rigged with tripwires. Just like in campaign, you're gonna have to defuse them to get past them. After that, look around the house for more intel. Just because the timer says 10 minutes doesn't actually mean you have to survive for 10 minutes. Because every piece of intel you find will take off 30 seconds of that timer, making it easier for you guys to survive. Note that these intels are at different places every game, so you won't always find them in the same spot. But here are some of the possible locations for you guys to look out for. The tanks outside won't blow up themselves. Although it's not required of you to destroy them, doing so will ensure you and your teammates' safety when you're outside. I don't know if it's possible to destroy the tanks by shooting your guns at them, I've never done it myself, but if you're going to use a cruise missile like me, make sure you have a spare for later on. After surviving the assault, make your way up the hill to the care package and take what you can. Once you're resupplied, you have to run over to the next checkpoint, which is another building rigged with tripwires everywhere. Move carefully and slowly and defuse them all before you start the objective. Try to get there early, and defuse as many as you can as quickly as possible so you can prevent clueless teammates from doing things like this. Once again, you need to gather 3 pieces of intel by taking pictures of 3 different piles of cash. And of course, the more intel you gather, the better. Just like before, once you've gathered the intel, enemies will start swarming you, and this is where you put the sentry gun to use. Make your way up the main staircase, and the room directly in front of you has a ladder that leads to the roof. Walk towards the ledge and place your sentry gun down facing east on your compass. This will help you thin out waves of enemies, making things easier. Now that the sentry gun is doing the work for you, look around for more intel and simply survive the assault again. When you're finally finished with that, make your way further up the hill to the town where the informant is located. This is where things get tricky, so pay close attention. Clear out the hostiles that get in your way. Remember that cruise missile you saved? Call it in as soon as the informant HP is displayed. The informant will be located at the back of a truck with a juggernaut standing over him. Note that your target is the second big truck behind that first one. When you blow up the truck with a cruise missile, it will kill the juggernaut, but the informant is still fine. The point of doing this is so that the informant won't be going anywhere. Otherwise, you would have to go on a car chase and kill the juggernaut while on the move, as the informant is bleeding out. But in our case, we just have to fight our way through to the informant. Be aware that there will be another juggernaut by this diner. After you take him out, quickly head over to the informant and carry him to the exfil. More enemies will be arriving on the scene, so make sure your team is covering you, because every time you put the informant down, he will start bleeding out again. There are 2 exfil locations, but we are going to this apartment one since it's closer. Be aware the exfil spot is on the roof, and there will be a hostile sentry gun located on the stairs. It will be on a different floor every game, and in our case, it's on the 2nd floor. Be aware, grenades will be rolling down the stairs, and thanks to this brave soul who picked it up so nobody else got hurt. More enemies and suicide bombers will spawn, so the longer you take reaching the roof, the more likely you'll encounter them. When you finally make it up there, there will be another juggernaut on site, and luckily my team took it out in seconds. So just head over and put down the informant on the marker, and then attach the Fulton device on him. As I was doing this, I think another juggernaut spawned in behind me, but my teammate put on his jug suit and killed him quickly. After the plane retrieves the informant, enemies will start firing mortars at you, so it's time to get off the roof. Be aware, if you're in a jug suit, you can't deploy your parachute. So for the love of God, take the stairs, please. Don't be like that guy, because it'll make it harder for your team. And in our case, our getaway vehicles were blown up because of the delay. Normally, this is where the vehicles will be, but since we're on foot, we just gotta book it towards the safe house. And once you reach the safe house, you're all set. Wait for the timer to pop up and count down to 0, and there, you've completed Operation Harbinger. Thanks for watching, guys, hope y'all enjoyed. A like would be appreciated, and subscribe for more.
Yo, what? How the fuck did... Yo, chill!